Happy week to you. Happy Sunday, wherever you're getting this. It might even be Monday. It might be Saturday where you're getting this. So happy week to you. I'm so happy to see you again. I'm so happy to hear you again. I'm so happy to be with you again. And thank you for joining me on 21st Century Rocker Mom Podcast. It's episode 51. Girls Gone Wilder than you've ever imagined, if you can believe it. Episode 51. And you know what? We're going to take season 1 and we're going to just stretch it as long as we can. And I'm not going to stop going until we hit 100 episodes. So since it's Girls Gone Wilder, we're going to start off with shots. And since it's my 39th birthday at the end of this month, on the 24th, I'm going to be 39 years old. These are the only kind of shots I do. Since I don't drink alcohol, most of you that follow me will know that I don't drink alcohol. Oh, I gotta get up in this costume. Nah. Well, obviously, as you can see, it was mail day. It was mail day at our house. And I got this, I will call it an Elvis, Rob calls it a Catwoman costume. Or an Uma Thurman in Kill Bill costume. I call it an Elvis 67 Comeback Special album costume. I call it the Elvis 67 Comeback Special suit. I don't know what I'm going to do in it later. So this is the shots that I got. This one is an antioxidant. It's freshy. And it's an antioxidant. It's got beet juice in it. I don't have my regular reading glasses with me here. Bear with my eyes. It's got beet juice. It's got lemon juice. It's got orange juice. It's got camu fruit powder, organic moringa powder juice. And it's all organic. And we're gonna do shots to start the show off. So see what this tastes like. Because I'm all about the health and feeling good. I like, obviously I'm a big believer in science, but I like the folk medicine too. So there's a good balance of granola and modern medicine up in here. And I know what this one's going to do. Lovely. I can taste the beets, but it doesn't taste like dirt. Because usually when you get a lot of things that have a lot of beets in them, there's dirt. And this is an immune elixir. So I just had my booster the other day for COVID. I got it in this arm. It feels like somebody maybe punched it a little bit, but I didn't get any side effects. Everyone's like, prepare to be tired. I'm like, I have 2 kids. Prepare to be normal. I don't think I'm going to notice. So I didn't have any side effects. Neither did Rob. This is not everybody's story, so don't totally take it from me. But yeah, we got our boosters. I got Moderna the other day, but I also take a lot of this stuff in the winter too. Actually, all year round. I'm vegan, so this one's ginger juice. It's going to be spicy. Lemon juice and honey. We'll see what the balance is like on this one. Woo! I got a chaser. I think it's straight no chaser. From Freshie to you, to me. Girls Gone Wild. There's a lot of ginger in that. Yeah, let's just say that one's spicy. So I got a Coke. Got me a nice cold pop. Oh yeah. So that's there for later. Look at this. British Columbia, BC raspberry. Another Canadian drink. Freshie's a Canadian company. Another Canadian drink on the show. Send the fucking check, Coca-Cola. Send the check, Freshie. Down the pipe. I need your money to keep this podcast going for my drinking of juice habits. And obviously my buying of weird outfits. This is why Girls Gone Wild, because I did a looking for trouble thing today. I love Elvis Presley. I love the King. Obviously, he loves some Girls That Have Gone Wild. A little bit too young, in my opinion. I think I had a question from a friend this week, and they said, wasn't Elvis kind of into young women? And I said, yeah. There's a lot of misogyny. As much as I love Elvis Presley, and I'm going to do a whole other show about Elvis soon, about Elvis conspiracy theories, Elvis sightings, Elvis impersonators. And so as getting to that, because I love the King, a lot of his stuff that he did I don't agree with, but I like his music a lot. And I love everything, the camp that kind of goes along with Elvis and the kitschiness that goes along with Elvis and everything that he is and he was and the King and everything like that. A lot to talk about there. That's another show though. But speaking of the King, I want to talk to you about a time that I went on a date with an Elvis impersonator. So you have to understand. that this was a time in my life where I was single, and I was just like, let's take advantage of everything. So for my dating app then, I didn't have Tinder or anything like that. I had this Plenty of Fish, and I know it's around now because I've heard from other single friends that they use it, but they use mostly this Tinder. And I found out what Tinder means. It means, like, you know, it's Tinder. It's what it is when you start a fire, start a spark. You're supposed to ignite something, mostly something in your pants. Tinder, Grinder, whatever you like. So for me, it was Plenty of Fish. And I had dated some teachers. I dated some, you know, butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers. And I thought, why not an Elvis impersonator? I love Elvis. Like, to a certain degree. I just love Elvis. Every degree of Elvis I love, except for the really super early stuff. Like when he was really clean cut. I like Elvis. I like big, fat Vegas Elvis. I love, like, 67 comeback special Elvis. Obviously, that's what this is. If you're looking for trouble, you came to the right place, because this is the episode that you're going to hear about girls getting in fucking trouble. And this was me getting in trouble on a date with an Elvis impersonator. So I'd gone through Plenty of Fish. I'd gone through plenty of assholes. So I was like an Elvis impersonator. This is awesome. I love Elvis. So I show up the date and I'm so excited. I'm just ready to rock and roll. And I'm going to tell you, he stepped on my blue suede shoes. When he showed up as himself, not Elvis. He advertised himself on his Plenty of Fish profile with all Elvis pictures and all Elvis impersonator pictures. So this is what I envisioned coming to this blind sort of date and whatever. And I've been talking to him for a few months, so just to make sure he wasn't, like, too crazy. And he met me at a restaurant for, like, a drink and supper and things like that. And he showed up with himself, no black hair, no nothing. I thought he was, like, in my mind, this guy was going to show up in a jumpsuit or at least a leather jacket or something. Nothing. I was so disappointed. Man, I expected Elvis, and I got himself. So needless to say, and that's girls behaving badly. That's me just being a fucking Karen. It did not work out with the Elvis impersonator. So it was a really funny story, and it's a funny date story. It's funny how the dates that you go on being a woman, going and seeing the things that you see or I've seen on dating sites, or things that my friends tell me from Tinder. I get mostly stories from my female friends, or my friends at least that identify as female, or mostly female, even if they're gender fluid. They're mostly, like, dating men, and they tell me hilarious stories from these sites. And I will say this. I am very glad that I don't date, and I am in a very monogamous relationship. As much as I'm out there for, you know, going out there and living your best dating life, I am happy as a clam with monogamy. I don't know why I said clam. But anyways, we'll talk about on the next, you know, some episodes about Elvis being too sexy and things like that. But I want to talk about, like, younger ladies. And, like, speaking of Elvis and younger ladies, he loved younger ladies. And speaking of younger ladies, spoiler alert, I have been watching an excellent show based really on younger ladies and ladies my age too. Yellowjackets. Okay, so if you've not watched Yellowjackets yet, if you've not watched this program, I'm gonna spoil for you. I'm telling you spoiler alerts here. So I'm giving you the warning right now. Like, this show is absolutely fantastic. It is like survival, but on crack. It's crazy. Like, I already knew that I was going to be floored by the time I saw the trailer. But when you see the trailer, it's really cool. It's about this, you know, Gold Star, all girls soccer team in high school. They're just, like, kicking ass. They're young. They're in their prime. It's the 90s. The beginning. It starts off with Smashing Pumpkins Today. So, like, immediately, just with the soundtrack and, like, the clothes and the 90s and the kind of the feel, I was, like, transported back to, like, high school, and I was hooked. I was done. I was like, hook, line, sinker. I was done. So Yellowjackets is something that you've got to get your hands on. If you can get your hands on ShowTime, if you have Crave or however you have access to ShowTime, I'm not sure. But I do it through Crave. It's a fantastic program. The casting is absolutely fantastic in it. I love that there's strong female characters in the show. And I love that the strong presence that they're not really trying to, I don't feel like they're trying to check a box with certain characters. I think they're just trying to make everybody like feel like represented. The great thing is like they have strong female characters. They have strong female women of color, like characters that are female but also women of color. They have strong characters that are LGBTQ2 characters. They have, you know, secret relationships, things that weren't like accepted in the 90s, like except they really were. Just depends who you were. I'm sorry, all my friends and I like that are gay, I knew that they were gay. They were still my friends. I didn't care. We didn't comment about it like kind of like we do now. There's more of a conversation about it right now. So, I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad because my friends didn't have any problems coming out of the closet because we didn't accept them. But I know that some people have that huge problem. So there's these two characters on the show named Taisha and Van, and they're on the show and they're two female characters. And not only are they gay and they're lesbian couple, but they're a biracial lesbian couple. And so that's difficult as it is. So being a biracial couple can have its judgments now, and and then add in the LGBTQ element. And like they didn't want one of them doesn't want like their friends to find out. The one doesn't care. And the other one's like, no, don't tell anyone. She's like, why, are you ashamed of me? And she's like, no, but you can tell that she's apprehensive about it. She's afraid that people will talk. And it's sad, like to me, like living in a day now where it's just like, who cares if people talk? Love is love, and that's kind of all you got. So if you got it, flaunt it. You know, that's my opinion anyway. No matter who you love, just make sure they love you back and give it to them in return. I don't care who you love. It doesn't matter. You're all my family. So if you have not watched Yellowjackets yet, I absolutely like. I beg you to watch this show. Like I say, I don't feel like they're trying to check off a token person, like a token person of color or a token person of the LGBTQ2 community, or, you know, a token redhead, or there's got to be a token gay guy, or there's got to be a token, you know, there's got to be a token nerdy girl in the school. Like they're not trying to check off a box. It just so happens that these characters are so well played out. It's like, we all went to high school with one of these characters. Juliette Lewis is absolutely like fantastic in it. She's contortive and she's dramatic and she's everything Juliette Lewis is. She's like, it's Juliette Lewis in the licks, but you know, in movie form, in screen form, and she's just so contortive, and she's an addict, and she's come out of rehab, and she's kind of really extreme. But it's like her character, like she's perfect to play the character. She's really dramatic in it, and she really brings it home. Christina Ricci's character in it is also amazing. She plays that girl we kind of all knew in high school. She was a real shit disturber, but she kind of fucking knew everything. Plays a character called Mindy. And, oh, God. And she just... It's a great show. If you haven't seen Yellowjackets, like I say, see it right now. Just check it out. I really like the best. So I just feel like the show highlights all walks of life. And the character that I can identify most with is Shauna, which is Melanie Lynskey's character. You might know her from all kinds of different shows. My favorite is actually a Peter Jackson film called Beautiful Creatures. Heavenly Creatures, Beautiful Creatures. I'll look it up and I'll get back to you. But no, I love Melanie Lynskey because she's great. She's been on, I know she was on 2.5 Men for a long time. I don't know if she played like a stalker of Charlie or something. But she kind of had a squeaky high voice like this. She does in this. She's just like a really angry, bored housewife, and she doesn't kind of want her secret to get about these girls and survival in the woods. Like the number one, what happens is these girls, they're wild, they're strong, they're resilient, they're resourceful because they got to be. Because even in the trailer, you will find out, here's what happens. The show, like I'm going to tell you right now, for someone as fearful of me, of flying, the show was absolutely triggering in the beginning. Because like, I know I was going back with all this nostalgia and all these good songs and these bands and the fashion and, you know, how we talked back then and how we treat each other and, you know, things like that. A little less judgment, you know, girls and high school could still really be mean, but just a little bit nicer, I guess, than we are now. Maybe because we weren't in such a digital age. People were attacking each other on each other's Facebooks and stuff. We got mean emails and things like that, but people weren't attacking each other to that caliber. So it was great to see it. But why did this scare the shit out of me? I mean, even on the trailer, you see this show is about a fucking plane crash. It's about a plane taking off and then crashing into the fucking Canadian wilderness, leaving this soccer team of superstar girls to survive for 19 months by themselves. No one knows what happened except the girls that were involved and the people, or I will say people that were involved. And nobody wants to talk, and nobody wants anybody to talk, because whatever must have happened was so fucking fucked up. There's already been a lot of fucked up shit that's happened. I'm on 8 episodes. I can't get any more past that because the next one doesn't come out till Sunday, when this is going to be hitting you, and I won't be able to talk to you about it because I won't have seen it yet. Because I taped this before Sunday, obviously. But I've seen them, and it's just, I'm not a good plane passenger. So, like, when I go on a flight, on a plane, I like to not know that I'm there. I like to have enough of a anti-anxiety medication in me that I feel like I'm having a nice afternoon nap on the couch. One where I can kind of wake up and look at the clock and see what time it is and just not really care about that at all and just continue having my nap on the couch. I don't remember what that was like. I think I had those before I had kids and dogs. So that was like a long time ago. Probably more than 14 fucking years ago. Sometime in my early 20s, I remember naps. But not anytime now. But like planes crashing, taking off, like hitting the trees. Oh my God, it just was like Leonard Skinner all over again. Because I just watched the Leonard Skinner documentary, another one, not too long ago. And it had a very vivid account of the plane crash. And in this particular show, trigger warning again, if you're triggered by plane crashes and things like that, you're not going to like this. You're going to go, whoa. But I mean, it's worth a watch for me. Someone who doesn't like plane crashes, it was worth a watch for me. So thank you, Leonard Skinner. Someone once told me, you know, all the stars belong in the sky. And that scared the shit out of me immensely. So yeah, I think anyone who plays in a band is just going to get in a plane crash. But these girls didn't even play in a band. They get in a plane crash. It was horrifying. So anyways, that aside from that, that's if Leonard Skinner had these girls' survival skills, I think they'd still be there. That was a band that was definitely full of strong women, I will say. So aside from all the strong female performances I have seen in Yellowjackets that you got to go see right now on ShowTime, like get it on your television and watch the fuck out of it. For the soundtrack alone, I don't care if you like any of the actresses that are in it. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you like strong female characters. You're going to love them after you watch the show. Because they become like absolute ass kickers. If you like blood and violence and gore and like ass kicking wilderness survival, and you know that I do. Because like, you know what I did after I got my Moderna shot? I'm going to tell you this right now. I like chopped a cord of wood. And yeah, it was this arm, like I say, here. I don't really, I don't slow down. I didn't feel bad after I got it, so why not chop some wood? So like I say, more strong females to talk about. Obviously, with plane crashes, the girls and Leonard Skinner, like, I don't know if anyone knows this or not, but I love Leonard Skinner because I talk about them all the time. And like also other than Elvis. I mean, when I'm not dressing up in Elvis uniforms, no, I'm uniforms. Costumes, I guess, stage costumes. I love Leonard Skinner. They're just one of those bands that's really real. But for a long time, there was just guys in the band but then they got the Honkettes, which was one of the sisters of one of the gentlemen in Leonard Skinner, Steve Gaines. Cassie Gaines was kind of like the hippie girl. She unfortunately passed away in the plane crash. That's Steve Gaines and Ronnie Van Zant and their tour manager, and as well as the co-pilot and pilot of the plane crashed in right when they released the album Street Survivor. That was a big fiery crash in the forest. And it was like immediate death in the swamp. No one found them for a long time. There's a lot of injuries sustained and things like that. And I remember when that album, I wasn't there, but I mean, I have a copy of the album Street Survivors. When it came out, it was released with Leonard Skinner walking down the street kind of all together in a big line. and they had fire all behind them. And then as soon as the plane crash happened, the record company pulled that album because they didn't want anyone to be reminded of this horrible, fiery plane crash, and that it killed all those people. But Cassie Gaines was part of the Honkettes, which was a backup, like, singing vocal group that Leonard Skinner had. And if you look back at Leonard Skinner footage, just a little bit later on, in the 70s, you'll see the Honkettes singing backup for them, and you'll hear them on things like Sweet Home Alabama, all those ladies' voices you hear in the background. There's the Honkettes. One's got like a real smoky voice, there's a hippie voice, and Cassie Gaines, unfortunately, like I say, she passed. The other two girls are alive, and you can see them on some Leonard Skinner documentaries. It's interesting to see their perspective on music and Leonard Skinner, and they said that they were always treated like ladies, and it's not like a lot of the misogyny that goes on now. And I've seen a lot of that stuff. I'm seeing a lot of girls going wild over misogyny on the internet. I saw some stuff yesterday. One of the girls from the Go-Go's just posted a nice picture of herself from her birthday, and she's 62 or 63 years old. She's been 34 years sober. The Go-Go's, it's Kathy Valentine, man. She's the bass player. She's one of the reasons I picked up a bass. She posted a picture of herself. It was like a selfie, and it had no makeup on. I was like, okay, happy birthday. And some girl went on there and started talking to her about plastic surgery and why don't you put on some makeup and dye your hair. And that was too much for me. That lit a fire under my ass. I was like, really? If you want to post, I don't do it personally. I'll do it one day. But I mean, like, I don't post like things about putting plastic surgery on my face when someone posts a no makeup selfie of themselves. I like to see no makeup selfies. So she posted no makeup selfie. So someone got on her case about it, saying, why don't you dye your hair and why don't you get plastic surgery? And I just thought it wasn't nice. So I went on and said, if you're really a fan of somebody and you're really going to be nice to them and you really like the music, does it matter what, pictures they're posting of themselves? If they feel confident to post that, look at the positive things, like maybe that you're not looking at. Did you see that they're 34 years sober? Did you see that they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Did you know that they're the reason I picked up a bass guitar? There are bright sides. There's so much ageism when it goes on. The girls gone wild, because I know they're, nobody wants to see their grandmother wearing their outfit. Nobody wants to see that. It's ridiculous. I talk to friends about this when we see women or those that identify as females just wearing a little bit too little. It can sometimes just spark us as, woo, it's a little too much, it's shocking. It can be shocking. I'm all about living your best life and feeling the best about your body you can, but sometimes it shocks me a little bit. It never stops shocking me. But what does shock me the most is the ageism women are getting these days. I am watching, and just like that, it's like the Sex and the City reboot. I've talked about it a little bit before, and I'll tell you, I'm mad, and this is another spoiler alert. I'm mad at the ageism. I'm mad at the ageism that show gets, because I don't think people realize that the girls on the Sex in the City were going to grow up and, age like regular people. I don't know if people thought they were like AIs or android robots, or they weren't real, or they weren't alive, or they were going to get some kind of crazy plastic surgery. But I think that they look great. Number one, I think they all look great. I'm really missing Samantha. I know she's coming through letters and texts and things like that, but I'm really missing her so much. But I'm mad at Miranda right now because she just got, and I'm just going to spoiler alert this and avert your ears if you don't like sexy talk. She just got finger banged in the kitchen while Carrie's in bed fucking pissing herself, needing help after surgery. So Miranda, married, is getting finger banged by Carrie's boss. She's finger painting in the kitchen. And, you're just having sex. And I'm just saying, it's sex. If you're in a room and you're not by yourself and you come, it's sex. So they're just having sex in the kitchen and Carrie's mad. But the whole thing about the show is the ageism that goes with it. People think that women past a certain age don't like to have sex, or, don't like to have fun. I don't know if they don't like to see it, or if they don't want to believe it, or what. But guess what? We like to do all those things. We like to have sex. We like to have a good time. We like to, well, within reason, when you can, we like to go out and have fun. Just because you turn a certain number doesn't mean that you turn a certain, like a stone in your life where you just stop doing things anymore. I really don't believe in a lot of limitations and putting your potential and things like that on hold and like putting yourself in a box and holding yourself and letting others hold you too tightly. You can't be a girl gone wild. You can't be in anything gone wild. You cannot go wild and let your potential go and let your freak flag fly if you're going to let yourself get, thrown into a box and shoved into a corner or stuck up on the shelf. You're not going to go anywhere. You have to give yourself that opportunity and believe in yourself enough and kind of give yourself enough, pump yourself up enough and be your own cheerleader enough to let yourself know that you can do it and you will get there and you're already on your way. If you're listening to this and you're watching this, you're probably already on your fucking way there right now, but you just don't know it yet, but you're on your way. You're on your way there. This is the greatest thing. That's the most motivation that I can give you. I can really say that if you're putting yourself out there, if you got enough cojones, if you got enough guts, if you got enough balls, whatever you want to call it, if you got enough collective intelligence to put yourself out there without apology and be unapologetically yourself, then you're already well on your way, my friends. You're doing the right thing. Just keep putting it out there because like I say, if you're not putting it out there, then no one is seeing it. And there's no way for you to expose what you're doing and share that with the world and share how fucking awesome you are. So keep being awesome. Keep putting it out there. Be wild, be fierce, be bold, and fucking keep releasing it. And yet at the same time, be nice. So there you go. So it's not really a thing to me, I guess, to have strong females in music, going back to, Lynyrd Skynyrd and all the different women and Kathy Valentine and all the different women in music that are strong, because I was in Kitty. So I've always had to deal with male misogyny. I think it's always been there. It's not even male misogyny. It's female misogyny. It's misogyny in general, because I see it from both sides. Because I see the Kathy Valentine the other day. I don't really see misogyny as an aside or anything right now, because I've seen it my whole life. I see misogyny from every angle, not just from men. I don't see misogyny as just a man thing, like men hating on women. I see misogyny from both sides. Anyone just hating on stuff just because someone's female. Hate it because you hate it, not because of someone's gender or their assumed gender, what you think their gender is. Hate it because you don't like it because it sucks. If you hate it because it sucks, hate it because it sucks. Don't hate it because what if somebody's packing in their pants or what you think they're packing in their pants. Hate it because you're like, you know what? Even if I turn the volume up on this, it still sounds like shit. So, turn the volume off. But, don't put that in the comment section. Keep it in your head. A lot of the times I feel like people put things in the comment section and they're sitting there eating popcorn waiting for the reaction. And they should really just keep that in their head. If you have something really fucking mean to say, just don't put it in the comment section. Use some common sense. Look like the bigger person. Move on. Scroll on. Flip your For You page, or don't click like on Instagram, or don't comment or whatever. And just don't comment. Keep that shitty thought in your head, because if you don't put it out in the universe, then guess what? Karma's not going to fly back on you and smash you in the face with a Golden Throat Punch Award like a little fucker. I'm going to tell you about Golden Throat Punch Awards. Actually, I'm going to tell you about actual Golden Awards. There's going to be an award. I'm going to give it out this week. I'm going to give out. So whoever picked red from the Instagram and the TikTok contest, if you picked red on either place, your name has been put in a draw to be randomly drawn by just like one of those Google number generators to win that picture that I painted, that crazy looking war pig beast looking thing that I dreamt about, that demon pig, that I will, obviously when I draw your name, I will put a personalized message on it for you, and I will send it your way. Now the postage is a little bit more it's a little bit more fast now that Christmas is over and it will actually get to you. So for the new year, I'm sending that out. I will announce that next week on the podcast, or maybe even on Instagram or Twitter or one of my socials or TikTok. I'll put up a video and we'll find that out. And strong women just like that. I've been drinking these pulp and pressed juices like crazy, and obviously, like I say, I believe in pulp and pressed juices, and obviously I'm drinking a Coke, so I'm not always doing things that are healthy, but a little Coca-Cola now and then is not going to kill me. I told the doctor about it. They didn't get mad. Like I say, I saw the doctor this week, so my immune boosting juices, wearing a mask, washing my hands, and obviously getting boosted this week. I will always advocate for science. Maybe that makes me an unpopular person. I don't really give a fuck. I will always advocate for science and doctors. I think it's unfortunate that we got a lot of our science, especially here in Canada, and I think in America too, that we got a lot of our science and our politics kind of screwed up and mixed together. And I think that those two things really don't mix, and they really shouldn't have from the first place, from day one. And I think that's why so many people are so divided on the vaccine and divided on schools and divided on where people should go and what people should do. And I think government and healthcare are two things that never should have mixed. And unfortunately, those two worlds collided. And now we are effectively where we are. And it's only a figure of speech because I don't want to speak for everyone. It's every person for themselves. It's every human. I mean, and animals too. It's everybody for themselves. You know what I mean? It's everybody grab a lifeboat. It's like there's the Titanic. They see the fucking iceberg coming and they don't give a flying fuck. It's like, again, my bangs, don't look up, assholes. You might see something. But like, since I got this vaccine right here, boosted in the fucking arm, I got a whole ass load of rapid tests. I order those quite frequently. I get them from a company called Rapid Trace and Test, or Test and Trace Canada. They're out of Calgary, Alberta. If you need rapid tests, if you're worried about any of that stuff, I don't see people. But, if, in case, what if somebody needed to come over? What if I need something? I mean, my eldest is vaccinated, but my youngest is not, because my eldest is old enough to be vaccinated. You're like, how old is he? When I took him to get vaccinated, and I'm like, he's 7. They're like, oh, he's tall for a 7-year-old because he's almost as big as me. I'm only 4'10" and a little bit. So he's big, but I mean, the day after his booster shot, I'm going to tell you about pediatric booster shots and it was his first dose actually. No fevers, he's got diabetes, so no problems with blood sugar, none of that stuff. It was actually really refreshing. As a parent, you really worry about that. And it's not vaccine. I'm not against vaccines. Obviously, I'm very pro-vaccines. I'm triple, trifecta dosed. I'm boosted. I very much believe in science. Like I say, it's unfortunately true that science and politics got mixed, and it sucks that people mix those two worlds together and that we have to. And I think that is what is creating division. I don't think it's the vaccinated and the unvaccinated population. I think it's the fact that we got the science and the politics mixed together. I think that is the whole wake up people thing, not sheeple, because I don't want to say that anyone is effectively or necessarily sleeping. I want to say that the point behind this is that it's kind of like, wake up people. We got the wrong end of the stick, and the politics and the medicine got mixed together. And now it's our job to kind of separate that bullshit and figure. I don't think it's the vaccinated and the unvaccinated they're going to divide each other. I think it's the politics plus the medicine that's going to divide everybody. And that pisses me off because, yesterday after I got the vaccine, or a couple days, it wasn't yesterday, it was a couple days ago after I got the vaccine, I was just out snow shoveling, and I was out chopping wood, doing the regular stuff, pulling the kids around in the sled. Our son got it, like I say. He was bouncing around. He was a little tired after, but he didn't get a fever or anything like that. Slept like a rock, got up, had a giant breakfast, wanted to eat like cold pizza, like He-Man, just wanted to go out in the snow and go tobogganing and then come in and catch Pokemon. Just no problems here. I know a lot of people have had bad interactions, and I'm sorry for that from certain vaccines. And I know a lot of people react badly, but I was just outside with the fucking axe on and the Jason mask. I look like Clark W. fucking Griswold on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with the fucking mask on, just chopping wood because I got the glasses on, but I don't want to get like anything like to hit my face. So I wear a whole full Jason hockey mask. So I'm out there chopping it in the garage. My neighbors must be like, what the fuck is going on? Imagine going outside of your house. Speaking of strong bitches, imagine like walking outside of your house and looking in your neighbor's garage and hearing like a kaboom and looking this way or that. And all of a sudden there's your neighbor out in like a leather jacket, not maybe this outfit, but perhaps jeans. And I don't usually wear shoes when I'm outside. Even if I'm in the garage, I don't like to wear shoes. I wear really thick socks because I'm trying to like acclimate myself. Like with this Cody Lundin and all this climbing and this dual survival in the outdoors. I'm trying to wear bare feet in the snow if I can. If I can't, really, really thick socks. I don't really like to wear shoes outside anymore. Unless we're going on a hike, then I wear proper hike wear. I don't want the kids to see it because I don't want them to think, hey, I can wear bare feet too. They have to take after good parenting skills. So I have to let them, I don't want to let them see that I'm barefoot in it, but they've seen a few things. But, so I'm trying to acclimate myself to the snow, but it's been fun being outside. It's great when you put your feet in the cold snow. I feel like I've been following that Wim Hof as well. When you put yourself in the snow for at least 40 seconds and you feel that cold bear down on your feet or anything. If you put yourself in a cold shower or a cold bath or a cold hot tub, all of a sudden you're really grounded for at least 40 seconds. At least 40 seconds, just feel kind of where you are. Because every 40 seconds, I don't know if you know that every 40 seconds, somebody takes their life from anxiety or depression or from sadness, mental illness. This is for mental health awareness. People take their lives because of these things and these struggles and these mental health struggles for 40 seconds. So, I mean, if you can stick your feet in the snow, goddamn stick your head in the snow. If you're having a panic attack, anything like this, even if you're not, and that grounds you for that 40 seconds, where in every 40 seconds, you think to yourself, someone takes their life because of this. And, you know, it really brings you back down to earth. I've been following Wim Hof on Instagram and the Wim Hof method and getting really cold and things like that. And it really brings you back to the center of yourself. So I wouldn't recommend it for like your kids or anything like that, but I like it for myself. It brings me back to myself. I like being outside with no shoes on and no socks on, just barefooting it up and having a good time. As long as you come in, your feet are dry in front of a nice fire, you'll be okay. So that's crazy. That's done now. Speaking of fires, I want to talk to you about being banned on Facebook. As you know, I have been banned on Facebook for many times. I got banned for 90 days from something called Neighborhoods. My friends are banned from Facebook. I get banned for saying like the weirdest things. Like I got banned for saying, my friend the other day got banned for suggesting that people do yoga during COVID because exercise is good for the mind and body. I'm like, I said she was spreading misinformation and then banned her from Facebook. I'm like, wow, okay, so I guess exercise is prohibited now. So watch what you say on social media, folks. You might get fucking censored big time. Here's one place where I'm not going to be censored. You're not going to be censored. It's not going to be censored. Here, my Instagram, wherever. If you follow me by now, you know that I've got my tongue. As Alex Hajar said on Social Animal Podcast, which I was really happy to be part of, and that came out last week. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. And he's gonna grace us with his presence in the year 2022. I'm so glad to be having him on the show. He's a podcast host, but I say turn friend now that we have podcasted together, and fellow veggie lover. We'll talk about that in a minute. But as you know, I've been banned from Facebook many times. Where's the weirdest place you've been banned from? Seriously, have you been banned from anywhere? Because I know someone who's been banned from the weirdest place of all. Someone I know has been banned from a greeting card shop. So there was a person we know growing up who always sent us the nicest greeting cards. And we thought, where is this person getting these greeting cards? Like $20 on a greeting card is like a lot. you know, the $9, $10, $11 ones. And then you're getting into the greeting cards that are like really nice, that have the cutouts on them. They're puffy. They sing. They play music. Shit pops out of them. Fucking, you open them, a butterfly flies out of these cards. Like, where are these fucking greeting cards coming from? But I don't know where they're coming from. They're goddamn fabulous, though. So we find out years later, and my sister and I don't talk about my sister a ton on the podcast, and I will now. But my sister and I laugh about this all the time, because this person we both know, and they are now banned from this greeting card store because they were fingering, what do I call it, fingering? 5-finger discount. They're getting the 5-finger discount. They were stealing greeting cards, shoving them in their bag, and one day they got caught. And now they're not allowed in this greeting card store anymore. They have a lifetime ban from a greeting card store. So I think that's funny. So maybe DM me. I'll drop it in the comments. I'll put it somewhere funny. You can tell me where the funniest place is you've been banned from, or anyone you know has been banned from. Because imagine being banned from a greeting card store. Like that to me is just like, it's not even sinister. It's not insidious. It's not even like you're a horrible person. It's just fucking hysterical. So speaking of my sister, I have a younger sister. Obviously, I don't talk about her a ton. She's my baby sister. And even though she's like a foot taller than this fucking hobbit, I don't talk to her like a ton, or don't talk about her a ton rather on the show, because she likes her anonymity. But sometimes I like to yank a chain when she likes to listen to the show. If she likes to listen to the show, maybe she's listening to the show. I don't fucking know. We were hippie kids, but like we weren't. It's like, tell me you were hippies without telling me you were being hippies. Like, our parents would give us sugar cereal, but their like definition of sugar cereal was like Weetabix with like honey on it, or frosted mini wheats. Like, one side might have a little bit of frosted on it, or we'd have some like mini wheats that might have jam in the middle or something, or like Shreddies with a little bit of sugar spread on them. But like, we didn't get like Trix or Captain Crunch or any like the fucking crazy cereals like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Fruit Loops. Or the only time we ever got those was on Halloween. There was a lady on the street, and her husband worked at a cereal factory here in town that was called Kellogg's at the time, and they gave out like cereal boxes, mini cereal boxes, and they were awesome. And my sister and I loved trick-or-treating there. Our dad would always take us trick-or-treating there, and we'd get like, since we were neighbors, she'd give us extras, and we'd always get these mini cereal boxes of the cereal. And this is the only time we get like Corn Pops, Fruit Loops, Frosted Flakes, those kinds of things. The things that I love now as an adult. Some of them are vegan, so I can have them. And I just put a little oat milk on top of them, and I'll have them before bed. It's great to have as a snack, like Rice Krispies or something like that. They're great. You get the gluten-free Rice Krispies. It's amazing. But my sister and I were raised in a very, like I say, natural sort of way. And when I say natural, I mean really natural. I mean, not as natural as like watching Yellowjackets reminded me of being at the cottage. Just because at the cottage, things were kind of young and wild and free, just like on Yellowjackets. A lot of the same music. My sister and I doing the same things. I remember being young and getting like tea bags and like splitting them open and rolling them in paper and trying to smoke them and thinking we were cool, like smoking cigarettes. And I remember being young and natural and just always running around with like no shirts on. There's pictures of me as a kid climbing apple trees and plum trees and pear trees, just with like a green turquoise little pair of shorts on and just like no shirt on whatsoever. If I can find them, I'll post them. I don't know if you can post that stuff on Instagram anymore. I'll blank some stuff out because I'm a kid in the 80s. Like, what are you gonna do? Take my picture down for nudity? Jeez. People on the internet are fucked. Stop looking at kids like they're not kids. They're kids, for fuck's sakes. Keep your eyeballs to yourselves, you fucking pedophiles. Fuck, I hate you. Burn. Burn, burn, burn. All of you. All the pedophiles can burn. That is a quote you can get from me right now. Maybe I'll get a shirt that says it. I've seen some shirts, and I've had one that says, kill all pedophiles. Maybe I'll get one that says pedophiles can be burned. Tell me what you want on 21st Century Rocker Mom podcast. Right now, we have the phrase, shut your mouth or I'll fuck it closed. I don't know how many of you would wear that on a t-shirt, but I mean, I would. I wouldn't wear it to my kid's PTA meeting or anything like that, but I mean, I'd wear it if the shoe fits. Oh, fuck. So my sister and I, like I say, we were raised natural, and my sister and I were always running around with no shirts on at the cottage. And I remember it being hot as hell when we were kids. Like, hot, hotter than hell. Wow. Like Kiss, like, whoosh, like Peter Criss, like fucking spinning a drumstick like a motherfucker. But like, running around in our underwear and stuff like that and not caring. My sister was the worst for being an exhibitionist. She loved to take off her clothes and just run around naked inside the cottage, not outside. But outside the cottage, you have to remember, our cottage was so hidden and nobody could see anything. My mom would either be at the kitchen or at the beach or in the garden. We'd just be inside the cottage, and we're all surrounded by trees so no one can see you. The windows are closed, the blinds are shut because you're trying to keep the heat out because it's hot. You got fans going, trying to keep the cottage nice and cool. My sister's naked as a goddamn jaybird. One day I get out of the shower. She's sitting on the couch. We got this old green, kind of shaggy looking old 70s couch with some brown buttons on it. It's a bright green, sitting there naked as a jaybird with a bowl on her crotch of Mr. Noodles. And they're not even cooked, they're dry. And she's sitting there just crunching, eating them. And she's bare naked, sitting there eating crotch noodles. Oh my gosh, she's gonna fucking kill me when she hears this story. But you know what? When you have a sister who does a podcast for a living, you gotta watch out. You better watch out. You better not cry. Maybe I'll fucking antigen test you. I'll rapid test your ass. You can come over, or I'll Zoom call you and you can do a podcast with me and we'll talk about some more of your nudity. But now it's the tables have turned and now I'm the one who likes being naked. So I'm the exhibitionist. I can't obviously do it because I have small children now. But Rob has to deal with my bullshit and parading around in my underwear and stuff like that. I'm not sure he minds. But now the tables have turned. Or my sister will see me and oh God, I can remember pre-pandemic, she'd walk in on me in the bathroom and I'd be just peeing or something. She'd be like, oh my God, shut the door. What's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing. I'd be when I was pregnant with my second, she'd be like, why are you peeing with the door open? You're pregnant. I'd be like, I mean, this was way pre-pandemic. My second's going to be 4 soon. It's going to be crazy. Right after I am 39, I was going to say 29, 39, she's going to be 4. It's crazy. She's already a 3-nager. She's a big girl, singing her head off. It's amazing. But like I say, I cannot wait to get my sister on the podcast. This is going to be fun. But with all this current spread of this Omicron and everything, we got to be careful, even though everyone's vaxxed now and boosted, except our youngest obviously isn't old enough to be vaxxed yet until they get the vaccine for kids that are 6 months and up running. I think that's supposed to happen sometime in the spring. So hopefully she'll get vaxxed too. Hopefully things will slow down and the spread will slow down with everybody getting vaxxed. And I don't know what's going on. I don't have any answers. I can say, can I say for you? I don't have any answer for you. I don't have the answer. I do encourage getting your vaccination though. You don't have to listen to me. I don't give a fuck. But I will say that it's good to get a vaccine. It's good to follow science. It's good to do your reading. And I don't mean do your reading on Google. It's good to talk to a trusted healthcare professional, someone that you trust, someone that you have a good rapport with, someone who's not led you in the wrong direction in the past. You trust that person, continue your trust with that person and lean on that person. I'll tell you, I have upcoming guests coming on the podcast. I have Alex Hajar from Social Animals Podcast coming on the show for 2022. And I'm so excited about that because this week on Spotify, I don't know if you heard, you probably saw it on my Instagram, that on Social Animals Podcast, the episode that I was on dropped this past Wednesday. It's on Spotify, Deezer, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can stream your podcasts. You can find it off my Instagram. You can go on my Instagram and check it out. You can go on Social Animals Instagram, Social Animals Podcast, and check it out. Alex has now become my buddy. It's great to have a podcast friend who is just as prolific, that's his word, not mine, as I am, who loves to play the bass, who loves to eat the vegetables. We have become good friends after podcasting together. It's wonderful, and I can't wait to do it again. He will be coming on the show and joining me. We'll be talking about all things bassy and all things spacey and who knows what else. All things racy, who knows? But we'll be talking about all the things on the show. I can't wait to talk to him. I've got lots of things, new things coming again, like I say, on the new year. For the new year, so many good things are happening. I'm just beaming with excitement to tell all of you, but I can't tell you everything. I've said it once. I've said it a million times. I love making connections with all of you online. Lately, I've been making lots more connections with all of you on TikTok. It's been wonderful to see you all on TikTok. It's nice to be interacted with, and it's nice to interact with you. I know I don't get back to everybody right away as fast as I can. TikTok is still, like I say, a really confusing world and entity for me. I can't get into my frickin' DMs to save my frickin' life. Sometimes I see that people send me DMs and there's like a bazillion of them and they go 99 plus and then they stop. And then there's 99 plus and I don't know how to make it work. So when I can get into my DMs, I will send them back to you and watch your videos. Until then, tag me or at me or whatever you do, whatever it is with the at. I can see that. I can come and heart it and find you. I try to go through everybody's. I was disappointed recently. I am disappointed in you, TikTok. As disappointed as I am in Miranda on and just like that for getting finger banged in the kitchen by Carrie's boss. That finger bang cheating. That's cheating. You came. You're in the room. You weren't by yourself. As disappointed as I am in that, I'm as disappointed in fucking TikTok. I found out recently they will only let you friend 10,000 people. I'm going to tell you this right now. No offense, TikTok. I don't want to call you out on this, but I'm calling it like it is. That's bullshit. They put a cap on how many friends you can follow. I know that might screw up their algorithm of how many people, like I want to follow the people that follow me. I'm interested in seeing what you guys do. And like truly and honestly, like why not? Why put a cap on how many people you can follow? I think it's stupid. So I'm going to have to figure out some way of figuring this out. Even if I have to look at all my follower stuff individually, I will figure it out somehow. We'll be there. Tag me. I want to see your stuff. I see you. I hear you. I'm with you. So just know that I'm around. I'm watching. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. I'm watching. I'm listening. And like I say, I see you and I hear you. You're visible to me. It might not be visible to anybody else, but I see you. I thank you for following along and following me on this journey. I have lots of gratitude towards you, obviously, for being here with me for as long as you had. 51 episodes, like long, 1 million posts, ago, a bazillion views on TikTok, a whole bunch of fun on Twitter. Like we're having great times together on socials. I want to thank you, YouTube subscribers, Instagram followers. I want to thank you for, being along for the ride. Anyone who's listening to the podcast or watching the podcast, I want to express, an extreme amount of gratitude to you all and give yourselves all a big pat on the back for following along with the craziness, hanging on to this crazy train and seeing what's coming every week. Because every week there's going to be something different. Who knows what I'll be dropping next week? I might be dropping a really big bomb. Coming to you sometime this month or early February, I have got a really big announcement. It's like gigantic. It might be the biggest announcement I've ever made. Maybe other than being pregnant and other than getting engaged when Rob and I got engaged. This is going to be a big one. So it's really big. It's a great big box that I checked for 19. Oh my God, what year are we in? It's a great big box that I checked for 2022. I'm excited to share it with you. I can't wait to talk to you about it. Who knows what else will be happening? Who knows what I'll be chopping this week? Who knows what will be on the chopping block? Will it be more wood? Who knows if I'll just be downstairs playing my piano in my office quietly? I'll be baking some bread this weekend. I have a friend in need of bread. I was going to say a friend in need of bread. A friend in need's a friend indeed. A friend with bread is better. I have a friend who needs some bread. So I'm going to drive that friend some bread. It was just her birthday, so I'm going to porch ninja her some bread this week. Because that's what Tanya would do. She would porch ninja some bread. Maybe not in this getup because it's going to be hard to drive in. If you need to find me this week or anytime, you know where I'm at. You can always find me on Instagram at 21st Century Rocker Mom. You can find me on Twitter at Tanya Candler. I'll be tweeting on there. You can find me on TikTok at 21st Century Rocker Mom, also at The Real Tanya Candler. And you can find me on my YouTube channel at Tanya Candler Channel. Click subscribe. If you hit the little bell with the notifications, ting tang tong, you'll get them every week. You'll get a little red button that'll come up and tell you that I'm going to go live and you're going to get videos every Sunday from yours truly. Fun YouTube videos just for you. I love you. I hope you've had a fun week. I hope going into this week, you can enjoy it. Go into this week with, it's a new you every single day. Go into this week with a new attitude. Last week is over. Go into this week fresh, new, brand new start. Everything's over from last week. If last week sucked, leave it there. It's a new day. It's a new you. You got this. Go out there, kick some serious ass. Like, honestly, kick this week in the balls and go out there. The best time you can have. Try to stay positive as best you can with all this crazy crap going on. Have some fun in the snow. Be a kid again. Pull out your toboggan. If you need to, grab your tube. Go to an abandoned golf course. Go sliding on the hills. Have fun. Until next week, I will see you. Enjoy the snow. Enjoy this cold weather. Cuddle up. Stay warm. Get cold. Do whatever you want. That's all I got. I love ya. Until next week, I will see you then.